Hello everybody, welcome to Shyam's Storytime. Today I have a story from Vetal series. Recently we had a story to know how King Vikramaditya met the Vetal for the first time, correct? So I also told you the Vetal told him many stories and there is a riddle at the end of it. Today I'm going to tell you one of those stories which the Vetal shared with King Vikramaditya. Are you ready to listen? The name of this story is The Blind Experts. Okay. So as King Vikramaditya was carrying the corpse and walking towards the crematorium to meet the tantric or the sorcerer, the Vetal told him, it's a long journey. Let's kill the time. I will tell you a story. At the end of it, I will ask you a question. If you know the answer to the question and stay quiet, your head will burst into a million pieces. But if you speak on the way when we walk to the crematorium, I will fly back to my tree. This is what the Vetal told him. Vikramaditya just nodded his head as he was listening. Vetal started the story. Long ago, in the kingdom of Andak, there lived a noble king. All the people in his kingdom loved the king because he was very just. He was a wise king as well. In fact, every day people would come and give their complaints to the king himself directly, and the king would hear each one of them and give his judgment. One day, there was an old man who came to the court along with two sons of his. Both the sons were blind. The old man came and told the king that, look here, both of my sons are experts in two different fields, even though they are blind. I wish to leave them at this court at your services. Please make use of their expertise. I will come back after a few months and take them with me. The king was very happy and he asked, what is their expertise? The older son was very good at horses, so he can smell and touch the horse and tell them everything about the horse. The second man was also equally skilled. His skill was in precious gems, so he can touch and feel the gems and tell all about the gem. The king was very happy to have both of them as his courtiers. A few days passed. One day there was a horseman who brought a very big, majestic horse to sell to the king. And he asked for a huge price. The king was himself a lover of horses and he fell in love with this one. It was shiny, it was huge and majestic. He wanted to buy it. Then he remembered the older son who was blind and was an expert in reading horses, right? He called him and said, can you tell me if this horse is worthy to buy? So this man came near the horse. He touched it, he smelt it, and he said, dear king, do not buy this horse. The horseman who came was taken aback. He did not like him at all. The king asked, why do you say so? The blind man said, look here, this horse may look majestic, but he doesn't like anybody other than the owner to ride on him. Anybody that climbs on him, he would just shove him away. The king asked one of his royal stablesmen to come and ride the horse. When he climbed on it, of course, the horse did exactly the same. He pushed the rider off and started to gallop away. Now, this horseman, the merchant who came, felt so ashamed. He took the horse and went away. The king was very happy that this blind man was indeed so skilled. He gave him many gold coins as a gift. A few days passed. There was a jeweler who came to the court and offered to sell a lot of precious gems to the king. He looked at all the stones, they all looked awesome, they were glistening. And now he remembered the second son of this old man who was an expert in reading gems. He called him and said, please take a look at these gems and tell me if we can buy them. So this blind man came, sat down, he touched each one of those precious gems, he felt them, he read it and said to the king, do not buy these. Of course, the jeweler, the merchant who came, was once again taken aback. The king himself was stunned. Why do you say so? Now this man said, these gems bring ill luck to the person who buys it, and I can read it from the gem, so do not buy it. The king didn't want to take a chance. Already he noticed that the older brother was really skilled, right? He saw that with this one, he didn't want to take a chance. So he told the jeweler or the merchant, he doesn't want it. So the jeweler went off. After a few days, the king got to know that the same precious gems were bought by the neighboring king, and soon after he got it, he fell sick, it seems. So what the second man told him has come true. The king was very happy to have both of them as his courtiers. After a few months, the old man, their father, came back to fetch them. So he came and asked the king, I hope you had a good time with my sons. I wish to take them away. Now the king was curious. He wanted to know if this man has borne two such skilled sons, what will be the skill of the father? So he asked, what are you good at? The old man immediately said, without any reluctance, I am very good at reading people. I can tell who they really are. The king was curious to test him. Immediately he asked, can you tell me about myself? The old man now once again did not hesitate, and he said, you are the son of a thief. Now the king did not like the answer at all. He immediately banished this old man and the two sons out of his kingdom, and he said, you three should never enter the kingdom. So they were banished. Turns out that what the old man said was true indeed. Somewhere the king's father had been a thief before, and only the king had known it. Now it has come to light to everybody. This is why he did not like it. This was the story that the Vetal shared with Vikramaditya. At the end of the story, remember I said Vetal asked the king a question. The question was this: Dear King Vikramaditya, is it justified that this king banished the old man and his sons? King Vikramaditya was puzzled. Should he speak up or not? Immediately, Vetal recalled once again, if you speak up, I will fly back to my tree. But if you know the answer to the question and keep quiet, your head will burst into a million pieces. Immediately, King Vikramaditya spoke up. No doubt, the king is indeed unjustified in his act. He should not have banished the old man and his two sons. It is definitely true that he is the son of a thief. He should have been open-minded, and he should have appreciated the old man for having said the truth, which nobody knows in his kingdom, is it not? But instead, he banished them. So it is unjustified. The act of this king is unjustified, said King Vikramaditya. Now the Vetal was so happy looking at the wise answer given by King Vikramaditya. Nevertheless, now the king has spoken, he's opened his mouth and uttered a word, right? So the Vetal flew back to the same tree where he hung before. King Vikramaditya, we know, was a perseverant person. He didn't want to give up. He has to go and answer the tantric, right? Or the sorcerer. So he once again walked back to the tree, climbed up, picked up the corpse and hung it on his shoulders and started to walk back. Did the Vetal tell him another story? Yes, but that's for another day. I hope you all liked today's story. If you all have another answer which King Vikramaditya could have shared, please do type it in the comment section. I would love to read it. My name is Shamala and I am a passionate storyteller. I will meet you in the next story. Bye-bye.